Welcome to the 2015 final of Young Startup Talent held in West Kent. Tonight we will see 5 determined entrepreneurs put through their paces.
For this to be a success, you have to give the hardware away.
What is it that you would want to achieve and that you would really benefit from in the support package that winning Young Startup could give you?
With years of experience, a leading set of business professionals will scrutinise, advise and develop each business idea to find the most feasible concept. Welcome to the 2015 final of Young Startup Talent held in West Kent. From December 2014, the team set out to inform, inspire and encourage students about what it takes to start up their first business. Visiting schools, colleges and universities, the Young Startup Talent team has had the opportunity to work with a range of talented individuals who wanted to find out more about the world of business. On Monday 27th of April, a select few of the most tangible entrepreneurs were selected to attend the semi-final, which was held at the Spa Hotel in Tunbridge Wells. The evening was attended by business movers and shakers who were there to encourage and question each entrepreneur in more detail. Over the course of the evening, the sponsors, supporters and judges were all well versed and were able to transfer feedback to the young entrepreneurs even if they hadn't made it through to the next stage in the process. Later that evening, the Young Startup Talent team discussed each of the candidates in more detail to provide suitable feedback to allow them to develop and grow whatever the outcome. The entrepreneurs will be challenged, their business plans scrutinised and feedback exchanged. Out of the many entrepreneurs who have applied, only 5 now remain. As they prepare, let's meet the judges. Featuring on the panel for 2015 includes responsible for delivering her expertise and specialist knowledge of housing management services to over 9,000 homes, Operations Director of Town and Country Housing Group, Joe Ellis. Responsible for developing relations with key clients, he is a commercial property lawyer who acts for major occupiers in both the public and private sectors. Senior Partner for Cripps LLP, Michael Stevens. Advising a wide range of businesses from entrepreneurial startups to listed clients, he is responsible for tax services in the firm's Kent office. Partner for Crowe, Clark, Whitehill, Simon Warne. A journalist with 31 years experience, he was solely responsible for the launch of the Sevenoaks loyalty card and is senior editor for the Courier Media Group, Roger Casper. Developing strong links with local and national media, she has a range of knowledge in numerous sectors, with a passion for helping young entrepreneurs. She is both the founding partner of Young Startup Talent and PR agency Media Wordwaves, Lorraine Nugent. With years of experience building up his award-winning design, marketing and print agency in the South East, he aims to use his knowledge to find the next generation of young entrepreneurs. Founder of Young Startup Talent and Creative Pod, Matt Turner. Newly appointed as head of the corporate lending business in the southeast of England for RBS, he is responsible for supporting local businesses in their growth and development. John Redfern. First into the den is 25-year-old car enthusiast Bola Adigbulu. After making a passionate pitch in the semi-final, Bola hopes to get the judges on board with his concept. Let's see how he does.
Hi everyone, my name is Bola and I'm the founder and CEO of Automosis. Automosis is an app that essentially allows you to manage the health of your car. So my background is in engineering. I studied aviation engineering at university and I was the head of operations at a technology startup in the UK. Essentially our product is a plug-and-play device, which is this device here. This is an off-the-shelf version. This device is plugged into the diagnostic port of your car. Every car from 2001 onwards has this port, and what this does is that it releases the data. The data is then displayed in our app in a very simple and digestible way. So our app shows 3 things. 1, it allows you to diagnose the health of your car. 2, it lets you know how much it should cost based on that problem. And 3, it allows you to book a mechanic directly through the app. So we're quite excited about our solution, and we've had a bunch of positive feedback from the market. We recently signed a letter of interest from a large mechanic, about 50,000 customers, and today I was accepted onto the UCL program, which gives us access to the 35,000 students because they recognize our solution as quite innovative. The business model is based on the sale of the hardware, and is based on commissions gained through repairs booked through the Automosis platform. Thank you very much.
Bola, do you think selling the hardware is the right option?
I think at this point in time we're exploring different models. But based on the cost research that we've done, essentially it does depend on the funding. We are quite flexible. If we have significant funding, then great, we can create our own hardware. Because users have expressed a particular concern with putting cheap off-the-shelf devices into their cars. They don't trust it, and essentially there's a barrier, that trust barrier. If we're able to create our own premium device, essentially that looks the part, it would overcome that. But we're open to whatever model, based on our funding requirements.
Bola, can I be clear on this? Have you invented this, or is this something that's already available?
This hardware, as I said, is off the shelf. This is an off-the-shelf one.
It's already available?
Yes, this off-the-shelf hardware is available. What this hardware is, essentially, it's about £5 to £10. It's essentially used by a car enthusiast to monitor their RPM, modify their car, and so on. So what we're doing is, the innovation really is to simplify, taking that information, putting algorithms under it to simplify it for the average driver. And our app is proprietary. This hardware is off the shelf at the moment.
How realistic do you think it is that people will make a big purchase instantly based on information coming from all garages very quickly?
I mean, this is a proven model. There are companies like Who Can Fix My Car. It's an online website where you enter in what's wrong with your car. They're widely successful. Obviously, the USP in regards to ours is that when you go on this website, you have to enter in what you think is wrong with your car. We already done that automatically.
Do you have a network of garages that are available? And if so, why would it be in their interest to undercut each other to win the business?
I get this question all the time, but it's very simple, and it's just more customers. The mechanics have no way of advertising to mobile customers. Literally no way. They will have to. Independent mechanics will have to pay a lot of money to actually be on the platform. Our model is such that the mechanic would get commission off the mechanics, and we even had one mechanic saying, "Look, I'm willing to pay you to even be on there," because essentially what our product is it's a curation of people who need the service now.
What do you really want out of Young Startup? Because you sound, you describe the two people who you've got on board working with you. What is it that you would want to achieve and that you would really benefit from in the support package that winning Young Startup could give you?
The Kickstarter campaign, if you look at our initial pre-launch expenses, is probably the highest. It's probably the thing that's going to cost us the most amount of money. If we're to have the sort of PR support and the marketing, if we did win, all these overheads will be covered by a young startup.
And you reckon by the end of June your app will be on the Apple Store?
At the end of June, that's our target to get the app done.
Should we do a bet?
Yes, we can do a bet.
10 quid?
We can do £10.
£10. If I can't download it on the 30th of June, you give me £10. £10 bet?
£10.
30th of June, yeah?
£10.
All right, done.
£10.
Done.
Well, you be the first user. As part of that bet, I don't want the £10. Instead of the £10, you write a great review about your experience.
And I'll tweet about it as well.
Yes, fantastic.
Cool.
Fantastic.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Excellent.
Bola.
Okay, Bola.
Thank you.
All right,
Cheers.
thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Next to step into the final are 16-year-old Nick and 17-year-old Holly, who are bringing their unique Airsoft business to the panel. Their passion and enthusiasm for their concept clearly shone through in the semi-final. Let's see how they get on in front of the judges.
Our business is about airsofting. Airsofting is exactly like paintballing, but the weapons and the ammunition that do it are very different. So instead of getting a big black splodge on your clothes, you get a little bit of a sting from these small 1mm plastic pellets that are fired from here. They usually go for about 60 metres. The basic safety equipment is full face protection. So it's on your face, like so. So it protects your mouth and everything from getting hit and getting injured. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and it's cheaper than paintballing, I know. When you go there on the day, I usually pay about £100 for just the ammunition. This, you'd only pay £5 for a bottle that could last you a week. The competition is only one site that we know of that's been there for about 4 years.
And where is that site?
That's in France. It's about 15 minutes away from Erridge. What we would do is we'd run our games on a Friday evening and a Saturday. you've got two types. So you've got one that operates by a gas, and you've got one that operates by electric. Electric's the most efficient, I find.
They don't come like this though, you decorate them yourself.
Yeah.
You can get black ones. They're the ones that are quite heavy duty ones.
How much does a gun like that cost?
This, without this, and without this, and this, the gun was £210.
And with all the fancy...
All the fancy attachment, it brought it to £400.
You
So, yeah,
buy
that's-
the accessories.
Yeah, you buy the accessories, and it's quite heavy.
So you're gonna have these, I think in your business plan,
Yes.
you're gonna have these for people to hire if they haven't got their
Yes.
own, aren't you?
Yes,
Or do most people have their own?
Well, if people have their own, that's really good. But they are there to hire as well.
So that's kind of another revenue stream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why would you prefer to own it rather than the model that Front have of early on, before you know whether it's successful or not, trying it on a lease?
Because that way we can develop it and change it however we want. So if we find that something's not working, we can always instantly change that without going through permission.
And as a site, the land itself is just a field, so we prefer to...
How big is the site?
2.65 acres.
Okay.
Is what,
But it is an area of outstanding natural beauty, so will you need planning permission?
I think so, yes.
So you might want to get that before you buy it.
Is it owned by the council or is it owned by, who owns it at the moment?
I don't know who owns it, but all I know it's for sale. I've looked at the sale pictures that are shown by the board, by the sale boards that are up there. That's all I've looked at.
But how are you going to shoot? How are you going to hide if you're going to be shot at?
We're going to build dugouts and like wooden
Once we have
houses
the
and
land,
that.
we won't be opening straight away. We'll be developing, we'll be digging and building all the things on the site. So mainly trenches, because they're the easiest form of cover for them to run around in.
Am I right that you've only got one competitor in the south, and you're siting your business within 15 minutes of it? Is that right?
His site in this area, of course, their company has 4 or 5 around the southern part of this area, but they're quite far away, and they're the only ones that I know of and that I've researched.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Group of 3, Florence, Jack and Rachel, are next to step up to the judges with their play centre concept aimed at individuals with disabilities. Aged between 16 and 17, the team are hoping to win over the judges. Let's see how they get on.
Hello, I'm Jack, this is Rachel and Florence, and we're here to talk about our business, No Limits Play Centre. This is a soft play area for people under the age of 18 with disabilities and additional needs. We've noticed that there's a lack of safe play space in this area for people with special needs, especially for those over the age of 12.
Inside the centre, we would include different areas for different age groups. So we would have under 5s, 6 to 12 and 13 to 18s. We've spoken to a person who specialises in ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, and they've given us pointers on how to make the building specialist for people with autism as well. They suggested that we have a few rooms that have lower ceilings and darker lighting, because a lot of children with disabilities don't like the high ceilings and the bright lighting of a play area environment. We also sent out a questionnaire to some parents who have children with disabilities, and one of the most important things that came back to us was that they would have a sensory room, because a lot of children with disabilities have extra sensory needs. We would also have a cafe area for parents and carers who are supervising their children whilst in the play area. We want to base our play area in the Maidstone area because it's local to us and we know the area, but also we have connections with charities in that area. We have assumed that people will travel roughly 45 minutes to get to our centre because it's so specialised, which would give us a 20-mile radius outside of Maidstone. This would leave us with roughly 14,000 under 18s with disabilities. We've estimated that roughly around 25% of these could would attend our centre, which leaves us with 3,500 people.
We've created a financial forecast for the first year, giving us a total income of around £343,000. Our expenditures would be heating, staff wages, insurance and rent at a total expenditure of around £370,000. We've assumed that we'll get a bank loan for the play equipment, building of the kitchen and working capital, which we pay back over 60 months.
Have you actually identified somewhere that you could hold this?
We've been looking on various websites for like different warehouses that we could look at, but we haven't found one that's totally suitable yet, because when we spoke to the owner of the other soft play area, he said that it took him a long time to find a play area because, a warehouse, because they're quite specialist. But we are getting in contact with an estate agent specialising in warehousing, so that they could hopefully give us more advice and they would know more about the area.
Okay, because once you've got the warehouse, then you've got to renovate it. Have you looked at those costs as well? Have you added those costs of renovating the whole thing?
Yeah, we included that into the building and kitchen of the loan there.
And does that include the low ceiling aspect, which you've identified quite late on in the process? Because a lot of these places, soft play areas, warehouses, they are high ceiling places. Yeah. So you've got to bring that ceiling down, haven't you?
Yeah, in a lot of warehouses that we've looked at, they also have office rooms. So obviously if they had a spare office room, we would use that as the sensory room and the dark room, because they would have lower ceilings.
Do you think 8,000 square foot is enough space?
Yeah, we think that it's probably big enough.
Will this be a full-time activity for you, or how will actually you put the resource in to get it off the ground?
Well, for us, I think because we currently volunteer regularly for charities with people with special needs, it's something that we really enjoy and would really like to continue. So I think it would definitely be we'd be in it for the long haul.
Just going back a bit to the entrance cost at £9. What does that get you? Is it a 1 hour session? Is it all day? How does it work?
It's for that opening, so for the whole time whilst you're there.
If you're allowing somebody to stay for the whole period that you're open, is that necessarily a sensible way of looking at actually increasing your turnover?
Well, currently, as most play centres run, it is you pay to get in and you can stay there for as long as you like, because they can often hold a lot of people. So I think we came to around 45 would be possible to hold in the warehouse.
That sounds quite cheap, £9 for a whole day.
If they're staying there all day,
Yeah.
there should be like 4 sessions.
Yeah, but they generally won't stay all day.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Great.
All right, thank you.
Stepping up to the plate is 17-year-old duo Melissa and Stuart. They're looking to bring their up-and-coming affordable fashion company, Urban Panther, to the panel. Let's see how they get on.
We're here today to pitch our business idea, Urban Panther. Melissa's going to start off by talking about the designs we have made.
My designs are inspired by something close to my heart, which obviously, because I grew up in sort of South London, so I like that sort of fashion and I like to spend my time designing, so I thought I'd compare the two.
The ones that haven't been designed already will take inspiration from the designs we haven't got on there. Like the UK dress and the US dresses, will take inspiration from them to design our own version of it. That's just a mood board of all our ideas and that's what we'll be doing. But unfortunately we didn't have time to design them all, so.
Okay, are these ones on the table, do you want to hold those up? Are those ones actual ones that you've designed?
Yeah, these are demonstration ones. They're not final designs, but these are similar to what it would be like.
I did make this one, it's a jacket.
And that jacket...
I used a big word so that...
And what does it say? I can't quite see from here. Do you want to bring it a bit closer? The sparkly bit.
I used quite a big word so that you can see how different letters would show on it.
That's just a demonstration. The word shakers is where the actual design would be. So you can have any word,
yeah, so
any
be
shape,
on the back
anything
and
there.
you could pretty much say whatever you wanted it to say.
Okay.
This is an example of a woman's t-shirt. It's just a basic London design, but all the designs that are on there will fit to a similar sort of shirt to that. Because we're aiming this as an audience to about 16 to 21-year-olds, because that's the prime group for urban fashion, our research shows, and the prime age group to market to them is social media, especially Twitter, because more people are using Twitter than Facebook now. Facebook has gone to mostly over 30s, so We'll mostly be using Twitter and Instagram to do product launches with photos, and Twitter for all the news productions and stuff like that. And we feel we can hit our target audience the best that way. The cost of manufacturing these clothes will be about £3 to £5 per unit. The goods are going to be available to buy online. Obviously payment will work through PayPal, credit card payments and stuff like that. And we'll be offering deliveries, where there'll be a small charge for the delivery just to cover our own costs. We really want Urban Panther to take off, so that's why we're starting it as an online company, so we can raise revenue and capital in order to make it a bigger company down the line. We have a vision of maybe taking it into a high street chain, or maybe even selling our designs into other high street shops like Primark, Next, New Look, and getting them to sell our products on our behalf. We've got a lot of good feedback. We found out most people in that age range do wear urban clothing, at least sometimes. We found out that most people are interested in an online ordering service. We found out most people shop from the same shop as their friends, so if we can impress one person, it's likely we're impressing 5, 6 other people at the same time due to the trends. And we really want to push the Panther because we know teenagers like the brand. We said we'll charge the flat weight of the product, so say a t-shirt's £15, we'll charge them £15 for the t-shirt, and then maybe like a £10 service charge on top to make the t-shirt for them.
Your website build?
Yeah.
How much do you think it will cost to build an e-commerce platform?
How much would it cost to build an online web store? We don't know exactly. I mean, we were looking around, but we couldn't find exact cost. But I do have a friend who's in the web design industry, and he said he could do one quite cheaply for us.
There's mention here about 1 or 2 premises in Gravesend.
Yeah.
Can you just outline how much you're selling through a shop, and as opposed to selling online?
We think we'll be able to get a lot more online. That's why we've chosen the online option.
So those premises are just where you...
Those premises is where we could expand to in the future.
Where will you keep it, the stock, before you sell it?
We both have a lot of spaces at our house. We can do that, send the deliveries from our house, or we can do a similar thing to what Amazon do, where they get the manufacturer to send the goods straight to the customer. And we can set it up with the logistics like that.
Okay, thank you guys.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At the age of 24, game developer Dean Day is next to step into the final. Looking to take his games company to the next stage, he hopes to code his way to success. Let's see how he does.
Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Dean. Just to give you some background information on myself, 2 weeks ago I finished my bachelor's degree in games design and development, and before then I studied a foundation degree in computer science. Greenlight Games is an independent game studio with the hopes of designing, developing and publishing games for mobile platforms, PC and consoles such as the new Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The idea of Greenlight Games is to open the door, to be like a gateway between university and a AAA game studio such as EA Games, Ubisoft. We want to help the graduates and the students get the experience that they need, get a year, maybe 2 years, walking into the life of that career so they can get an understanding for it, and then help them afterwards to go and get a job with a larger games company that we're hoping to build contacts with throughout the lifetime of the company. The global games market, they believe by 2017 will be worth £102.9 billion. The games industry has grown by 8% so far over the last 3 years, and it is now larger than the music and the film industry combined. The Xbox is a platform that we are discussing with Microsoft at the moment. We have a game that we've shown them and they're interested in. We're hoping to create a demo for them this year. They have a program called the Xbox ID, which is the Xbox Independent Developers Program. And basically, if we can show them that we can do what we say we can do, they are going to allow us to put our game onto the Xbox marketplace, and they will support us in developing the game, and they will give us what's called Xbox development kits, which are basically specially designed Xboxes that you can develop on to create the games. Now, Xbox holds 62% of the console market. One other game that I wanted to speak about just briefly was a mobile game, our first ever game that we released. We created while we were at university still. So a mobile game that we created was called Gold Runner. We released Gold Runner for free. It was just a matter of testing the market. Now Gold Runner had 2,939 downloads on the Android market, so it's the Google Play Store, and it still has over 2,500 installations on someone's phone. So over 2,500 people still have it installed and still play it maybe once or twice a week. On the iPhone it has 705 downloads and it's around 555 installations are still installed and people are still playing it. It was just a really basic game, like I say, just to test the market and to see if this would be a viable thing that we could actually do. Just before I finish, I wanted to end on my exit plan. I haven't got an exit plan. I've been working on this for a year. Sorry. That's what I enjoy.
Let's go to questions.
Please.
You want to be an academy, yes?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, yeah. We just want to help people.
Academy for young talent.
Yeah.
But you could also become a multi-millionaire if you...
That'd be nice.
If you hit on the right game and develop the talent at the same time.
I mean, like I say, it's the games industry. It's risky, you've got to be careful.
That's my question. I like the way you described the two others in your team as having skills you don't have and how you...
Yeah, you can't be a one-man band in the games industry.
But you have 100% of the equity.
I do, yeah, the company is in my name.
So if you hit the big time with one of these, do you think they get that?
They get
do you think they're...
At the end of the day...
Have they read the small print?
Yeah, they've not read the... No, they're employees. They're very good friends of mine. They're friends. I'm not going to... If I make £65 million tomorrow, I'm not going to go. I'm off. I'll see you later. Loyalty at the end of the day is what's going to get us there. So I'd look after them. And like I say, Green Out Games isn't there for me to create, have a great game and then sell on. It's something I want to develop and keep until I'm finished, to leave it to whatever. So I don't know why I'm falling apart. Dear me.
Dean, you seem quite well set up actually. What on earth are you going to get out of young start-up talent?
If I'm honest, I originally looked at it and see the £50,000 cash prize. That's what I read. And I thought, wow, that would get Gombies off the floor and running. And then when I made first contact with Lorraine, she said, oh, it's 2,000 and it's the year's worth of services. And I went through the services, I thought, wow, like some of this stuff I'd never even thought of at the time. And to have a year's worth of services for like accountancy, legal, marketing, PR, and then there was even like IT support, website development, that is the sort of thing that could really put us on the map. I could go full steam ahead with Greenlight Games and we could just concentrate on developing, trying to get some sort of venture capital investment to pay people to make games.
If I were a gamer...
You're not.
I would really appreciate the dynamic difficulty adjustment. And is that
thank you for reading that. That's not really. I said thank you for reading that. That's not really done.
Is that a unique selling point?
It's very unique. That was Jamie. He did that for a university project. Our tutor said he's never really seen anything like it before. We're actually developing a mobile game to do that. It's discussed. It's being developed at the moment. We have a demo of that already. It's just it's a bit bad on the graphics side. It doesn't look very nice, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay,
brilliant.
Right, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
2015 has seen a fantastic group of young, aspirational entrepreneurs develop over what has been an exceptional 6 months. Young Startup Talent would like to thank all of the sponsors, supporters and all of those entrepreneurs who have applied. You all have the opportunity to stay in touch with the team who will be able to help and advise you in your businesses. With our expansion into Croydon, the Young Startup Talent team have been able to inspire more entrepreneurs to follow their dreams, as well as the launch of our entrepreneurial boot camps for educators of all ages. To everyone who has entered the process, I would like to wish you all the very best for the future, and we look forward to you keeping us informed of your progress. To find out more about Young Startup Talent, the sponsors involved and entrepreneurs past and present, please visit youngstartuptalent.co.uk.